Warning, this video contains strong violence and language and drugs. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I recreated The Last of Us in Sims 4 and I wanted it to be super serious and aesthetic and all this good stuff. But of course, it wasn't like that at all. It just got really fucking campy. Ellie's eating a burger, Joel's bullshitting with the Grim Reaper, and just nothing goes to plan. So I hope you guys enjoy. That was supposed to be a clicker. So anyways, I had a lot of fun doing this, but as you can see, I don't do builds on here just because my graphics card can't handle it sometimes, but I try to make everything very grassy. Some of like the old cars from like the Strangerville pack, and then some of the toy cars actually, I just upsized, and then I tried to make them a bit, you know, rusty and distorted by adding webs and just all of that good stuff. I attempted to make the clickers a few times, and at first all I did was I took a few Sims and then I made them look all like dirty and bloody. I gave them really bad traits like psychopathic tendencies from the extreme violence mod. I made some of them evil. I also gave some of them like the ADHD trait, just because in Sims, the ADHD trait, which is one of the mods I have, I think it's like slice of life if I recall, Sims tend to like you get distracted easily. So I kind of wanted to emulate the clickers, even though they're very intelligent in The Last of Us. I wanted them to still, like, you know, be distracted by something else really quickly to try to replicate that. I did attempt to use some of these weird flowers from Strangerville as the heads, and I didn't realize it was going to be this fucking big. So I ended up obviously not using them, but it was still pretty hilarious. I also had them eat the bazaar fruit at first, just because I wanted them to walk around all weird and crazy, and that did look really cool, but you can't really interact with them that way. You can't hurt them, you can't really do anything. You have to like talk them out of it. I tried to use the plant thinking that it wasn't going to be super enlarged, and it was just fucking crazy. Like, imagine if you literally saw that though, like during an apocalypse, it would just make you fucking piss your pants. So it would have been cool to leave it that way, but I wanted to see, you know, I wanted to challenge myself to see how far I can take this. I loved with extreme violence mods, some of the melee ways to murder somebody really reminded me of how Ellie defends herself in The Last of Us, so that was really cool. Like the Strangerville dudes were just staring at Ellie sleeping, and I just was like, I'm done. We're gonna fucking kill these guys off, and we're gonna try something different. So it's exactly what we did. Joel was just really useless during the whole playthrough, to be honest. He's like running and pissing and making burgers. So I just kind of had them kill these people off, and it was kind of weird because they don't have evil traits and they were extremely depressed about it. So here's Joel just taking like an axe to his head, and then here's the other guy like, oh girl, what are you doing? And Grim Reaper shows up as always. I just pretended it was a Molotov, to be honest, and then Joel decided like this is literally the perfect time to do push-ups, so we just kind of went with it. So it was just too campy. So after we got rid of them, Joel and Ellie were like extremely depressed the whole time. They're really sad because there's like death around them and they're just not used to it. And I was like, okay, I need to make this gameplay seem a little more realistic. So I reinstalled the zombie apocalypse mod, and I'll put all of those links in the description. I had this mod in the past, but it was just too much. It was taking over my Sims and killing them all. So as you can see, Joel is really terrified of this. I had him just infect some more clickers that I created, and yes, I used the Star Wars pack to kind of emulate the cordyceps on their head, and even though they're just horns, so like Star Wars fans, please don't come after me. I was just trying with what I have. Like, there's limited custom content out there for this kind of shit, and then I didn't realize, which was really cool, that the guns that you can have in the zombie apocalypse mod, they need ammo. So I just scattered it around the plot to kind of make it like a sense of panic, sort of like in the game you have limited resources and you have to use what you have. So I wanted to try to challenge myself a little bit, but it wasn't as fun as like the actual game. When you shoot the zombies with a handgun, they don't die instantly, so that was really fun to know. Like, they kind of twitch around and then they get back up and they attack you. So Joel got bitten, Ellie got bitten. He just was eating elotes, to be honest, like, which is Mexican corn, and running around in a state of panic. Like, there's literally better times to fucking barbecue. So he was just not cooperative. Like, it was really hard to make him seem serious, and I had a hard time making him seem weathered. I used a couple mods to give him like some wrinkles and definition on his face and just some, you know, wisdom, I guess, because the males in Sims really look goofy. And then here's Ellie defending herself like a badass, and I really liked how she kind of went with it. Like, she became kind of like into this, like defending herself, where Joel was breaking down like every 2 seconds, so I was really disappointed in that. So I had to get an antidote, which are in game. I scattered them around as well, so anytime one of my main players got bitten, we just kind of like found an antidote and tried to cure ourselves. So next I wanted to see what would happen if I gave the zombies the bazaar fruit. Like, what would happen? Would they be like super extra crazy? Because the zombies in the game didn't walk like clickers, but they performed like clickers. But when you eat the bazaar fruit, they kind of remind you of like how a clicker walks around all crazy. So I wanted to combine the two and see like what the fuck's gonna happen here. And sure enough, it was really challenging, because now you have these like zombies that are just like zonked out from this weird alien fruit, but you can't kill them easily. Like, before, you have options with just the zombies to kill them with one of your weapons, unless you use the extreme violence mod, but now you can't. You have to talk them out of it first, kind of like, you know, with the regular Sims when they have the bazaar fruit and they're all fucking like, you know, zonked out. You have to like slap them out of it back to their senses. So when you do that with a zombie, they just fucking bite you. So it was actually really interesting to do, and I had a lot of fun just combining the zombie virus and the bazaar fruit. It was actually pretty cool, and it makes me want to do more experiments in the future. So let me know if you have any suggestions. So here we go. Joel's gonna get bit a fucking again. He got bit a couple times, so you have the bandages on his neck, and Ellie has to go find another antidote and save his ass. Like, it was just, it's not, Joel doesn't deserve this. Now he's panicking and running around. That's literally what he was doing like the entire time. His fucking clickers are running so crazy. So I don't know, this was actually a really cool experiment. I wanted it to just seem like in universe, you know, when I built this, because that was like my main goal. And then I was inspired to try to like recreate that sort of vibe. Given my last video, which was the John Wick challenge, it was really crazy, and this one was even more crazier. So all in all, it was a lot of fun. It was just hard. Like, my biggest challenge was really getting Joel to cooperate and then getting him to look like Joel in game. Like I said, I had to use a lot of different meshes and stuff like that to make him look weathered. I love how Ellie used the pen right there too, by the way, because it reminded me of how she defends herself in game. So it was really cool, like how she kind of like grabs on top of somebody and grapples them. Yeah, I was really impressed with that. Joel finally uses a shotgun and does something right, and then he eats a fucking magic mushroom. I don't even remember putting them out, but I remember just putting random shit around, and I forgot about that. And I saw it, and I had him eat the magic mushroom, and now he is terrified, bit by a zombie, and fucking pinned. So that was crazy. Like, see, look. And this is literally what he did for the remainder of the game. Like, I finally like wrapped it up after a few minutes, because he was just running around in circles, tripping fucking balls. Like, imagine though, seriously, if like you ate some fun mushrooms and you got bit by a fucking zombie, like how insane that must have to, you know, that would have to be fucking crazy. Like, honestly, imagine that shit. So like, this is what he's doing. Ellie's just over his shit and he's just fucking tripping. Like, I can't even imagine. One thing I will say with the magic mushroom is it helped him gain a sense of confidence, and then he felt confident about killing zombies, so he became less terrified. He still was tense though, and they were tense throughout the whole game, especially with like the new remodeling pack and stuff like that, like the designer pack. They hated their surroundings, so I actually thought that added to the gameplay, because I wasn't really too excited about that in the past, so that added to it and I really liked it. So there's, at least they have a mop, you know, after everything that was going on today, at least they have a fucking mop. Like, that's the important thing. So anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next time for the next challenge.